They lurk in the shadows like ghosts from another time, biding their time until the perfect moment to strike. I'm talking, of course, about the fastest Asiatic land predator, the Asiatic cheetah, the world's rarest and most beautiful big cat. PSL level of pure aesthetic viewing pleasure, from their hidden layers in the West Asiatic hills to their failed attempt of domestication. Let me tell you their tale of awesome speed and stealthy survival against all odds. Once ruling the plains from Turkey to India, these king of cats have been reduced to just one realm, a tiny patch of desert in Iran. What chased them from their empire? Mostly humans. Was the other culprit getting mad that the cheetahs were faster than their horses? So they gave them the middle finger and started adhering to their Second Amendment. But that's not true. The thing is, the Asiatic cheetah was about to be dogged. Like, if the cheetah were not voluntary celibates in captivity, we could live in our reality where instead of greyhounds truck racing, it would be the cheetah. But don't get your hopes up because a cat will always be a cat, and that's the number one rule of being a cat. So, the reason why the cheetah identify as asexual in captivity is because in the wild, cheetahs get bodied by every creature. Even your pet cat can be a traumatic experience for the cheetah. Why? They took the speed kill, and I'll talk about it later in the video. So, on average, life is tough for the lightning feline. Up to 90% of cheetah cubs get removed from the cheetah census before reaching their first year of breathing oxygen. And apparently, this generational trauma made these graceful felines to have severe stress in captivity. This stress made them too shy to even procreate, making them go full monk mode. So, the cheetahs who are in the process of dogification by the Mughals, Arabs, Persians, Afghans, Turks made a huge deduction of this noble Asiatic killer. But also habitat destruction is to blame, as villages and farms spread like wildfire. Talk about going from dominating Asia to just 50 cats left. That's rough, very rough. At this point, if the Ayatollahs nuke us, let them. At least the Asiatic cheetah will live. So, believe it or not, cheetahs are from the same family with your pet Garfield. Although they are taller and larger than actual big cats who goes by the name of Panthera. The cheetah hitmogs leopards, snow leopards, clouded leopards. They should be called air leopards, but they can't. Why? Because they cannot roar. So they cannot sit together with their panthers in front of the bus. So they should sit back together with the lynx, cougars, and other small cats, including your pet Garfield. But in the cat family tree terms, cheetahs are very unique and lonely branch. Their ancestors split from other kitties 10 million years ago, and now that they are only living members left in the genus Axinoix. And example of their extinct relatives are the giant cheetahs, American cheetahs, etc., who went to the path of the dinosaurs and now are in heaven waiting for you, dear viewer, to subscribe to my channel. So the closest relatives alive now are the African cheetahs, like the Sudan cheetah, the Saharan or Sahrawi cheetah, and the Southern East African cheetahs. But also other cats belonging to the puma lineages, like the North and South American puma and the jaguarundi. And if you want to tell the two cheetahs apart, you can spot the differences between Asian and African cheetahs pretty easily. Asiatic cheetahs are smaller and have fluffier coats to keep them warm in chilly hills, especially in the freezing winter months. Their spotted fur is lighter, probably to blend in better when stalking their victim. They also have a fancy head shapes that are extra aerodynamic for zooming. And this is another reason why I claim that the Asiatic cheetah is the most beautiful cat in general. You can sue me, I don't need a lawyer, just look at the beauty of this animal. I mean, my eyes didn't evolve to see such beauty. The African cheetah, by the way, are just generic Joe cheetah. They are larger than the Asiatics, their spots are darker and their fur is shorter, except the royal family members of the king cheetah, in which, by the way, they're just East and South African cheetahs who had a fashionable mutation. This is where cheetahs really shine. They put sport cars, greyhounds, thoroughbred to shame. With super stretchy muscles and weight-saving design, they can hit 60 meters per hour, quicker than you can say, "I've subscribed." But they also have skinny legs and semi-retractable claws for maximum traction, a bendy spine and claws that don't seethe, allowing them to have incredible turns while chasing down their prey at top speed. This is one heck of an engineered killing machine. But taking the speed pill has its consequences. And these consequences is looking like a dog and acting like a cat. See, most cats can afford solo life, as they have sharp retractable claws and muscular limbs that can be useful for fighting or climbing. But the cheetahs have none of that. They can be flash, but not Wakanda. So this made the cheetahs to be vulnerable for paying tax to absolute units. And to compensate for their losses, this made the African cheetahs to be diurnal. They only raid their victims if their competition is taking a nap session. But in case of the Asiatic cheetahs, they are always solo and nocturnal, as to avoid people and livestock that might cause trouble, especially encountering their dogs from hell. Wise cheetahs know how to keep their distance from this biped primate, as their former rivals such as the Asiatic lions and Caspian tigers are long gone, stuck in the museum for eternity. They have to adapt to this new threat, but sometimes and in daytime, Asiatic cheetahs like to sneak when hunting their faster critters like gazelles. They slink low and slow until bam, rocket launch engaged. But their access to hunting grounds isn't great either, and thus they have to control huge territories to find enough fish in the sea, and thus making them vulnerable from those hounds from hell. Outcompeted for space, victims of angry herders, and heavily inbred, it's rough out there for these graceful cheetahs. Estimates say that there are 50 cheetahs living, clinging inwardly to resources they can get in the wild. But the good news is people are working very hard to save their habitats, mitigate conflicts, monitor their few survivors, and as I am doing here, raising awareness. With cooperation and speedy action, there's still hope for the world's enchanting cheetah. So this is the first episode of a first season of a video series in which I talked about wild cats in general, big and small and those in between. And also I like to shed light to their underrated and unknown subspecies for awareness purposes, I guess. And the thing is, cheetahs are my favorite animal since when I was 12, and I will wish that they continue to survive in the future, God willing. And you can support this project by clicking all the buttons. Thanks for gluing your eyeballs at my videos and stay curious.